is that we understood about how task executors handle the task. We understood the difference between task sequences and the task. We identified what is task sequence versus task in methodology of dispatching. We understood about what is task sequence and what is task sequence queue, right? And when we talk about this, that is task sequence queue, which I mentioned, that's what it is. It has been assigned to the operator which has to be worked on. Okay. If you want to see, how that is to be checked, whether my operator is having, how many task segments or task sequence queues, you can check that in the operators, what I can say, tree, or you can also check that by right clicking on that, going into the weave and checking for the details, which I have already mentioned in the task executor video. You can have a look at that, where you find out how or which task sequence is currently active on my operator. You can have that being checked out. Okay. Now, what has to be done? During a simulation run, when the task executor receives a task sequence, you're going to get the new task sequence will be added to the task executor task sequence queue. Okay. And if the task executor does not currently have any active task sequence, let's say this all parts are done, it will select a task sequence from its queue. Usually a task executor will complete task sequence in the order they are received. Okay, that would be first in first out basis. However, if the task sequence with the different priorities, okay, the task executor will complete the task sequence in the order of priority instead. Okay, so you see here the task sequence can be controlled by three parameters: by the labels, by preemptions, by priorities. Okay, if first in first out you don't want, you need to specify any of one into these three, or you can specify all three together depending on how complex your task sequence logic is. Okay, now talking about a dispatcher versus task executors, a dispatcher object which is into the task executor is similar to the task executor except that it do not have an active task sequence. Okay, it only has the task sequence queue which is here. This one is what is there in the dispatcher. It doesn't have active task sequence. Okay, and that is what it distinguishes the dispatcher class from the task executor and its subclasses. So this is the major difference between dispatcher and the other task executors, which I rightly mentioned. Okay. Now, in the task executors, okay, along with this, what we just understood, we also have some most important parameters to be checked onto, and that is task executor events and triggers. Okay. Now, what is this? Now, task executors have a specific series of events and triggers that they go through while working on the task. Okay, and a few of these important things are here, and these are very important to customize your task sequences and your task executors doing particular job. Okay, so when I talk about that, the trigger here, you see we have on start task, on finish task, on resource available, on load, on unload. These are some of the most used task executed triggers for customization. So what does that mean? Whenever an operator is going to have he's going to start a task and you want to do something when he starts the task. So for example, you want to change the color of the operator, you want to increase the speed of the operator, okay, or you want to make the operator jump, or you want the operator to run certain type of animation. That is what you can do in here. Okay, so it fires whenever a task executor begins performing a task, and when it fires, you need to write a code, you need to write a logic so that is going to get executed on start time. Similarly, all these triggers, you are going to get the trigger fired, depending on the trigger. So it fires whenever the task executor finishes performing a task. It fires whenever a task executor has finished a task sequence and is ready to execute another task sequence. Unload when it loads an item. Unload when it unloads an item. Okay. Now let me know in the comment section which is the trigger you use the most while you are designing task sequences using task executors and Flexsim simulation modeling. Okay, let me know that in the comment section below. And yeah, that's all for today. Understanding key concepts about task executors. We understood what things. We're going to just summarize that. We understood about how task executors handle the task. We understood the difference between task sequences and the task. We identified what is task sequence versus task in methodology of dispatching. We understood about what is task sequence and what is task sequence queue, right? The difference between those. We understood what was the difference between the dispatchers and the other entities into the task executors. We understood what are the things you need to take in care while you're creating task sequence queue logics. And we also understood about the task executor events and its triggers, its functions, what is the use of that, when to use it, and how to use that, right? So that's what we have looked into. So let us create a standard 3D logic, that is task using standard 3D logic. We are going to create a 3D model, using a conventional method, that is without process flow, and understand some of the basic things in task executors by creating that logic. Okay, so stay tuned till upcoming videos. Stay tuned on the Leansimcorp for exciting educational content, and do not forget to visit our website leansimcorp.com for premium content. So let us meet in another brand interesting video on your Leansimcorp channel. Till then, take care, bye-bye, and keep simulating. For premium content, do not forget to visit our website leansimcorp.com, where you will be getting all these premium contents available. So talking about what things you're going to get in, you're going to get in, simulation solutions. You're going to get premium training classes for simulation stuffs. You will be getting 3ds model file support. You can buy modules. You can access to simulation case studies. You can visit our services. Also, you can visit the blogs which you're going to get. So I was talking about simulation solutions, right? You can schedule one-on-one session with us, for training and details. You can access our digital assets like learning center. Okay, so here comes the booking online employment. Talking about training classes, you can access premium training classes. Once you are going to purchase our subscriptions, you will be able to access our training classes which are listed out here, and these are continuously getting upgraded, guys. Talking about blogs, here we bring in blogs from travel experiences, health, devotionals, like industrial engineering, personality development, simulation tech, and lot more interesting and exciting. So do not forget to visit our website leansimcorp.com for premium content, blogs, and lots more.